What happens when golf's gentlemanly traditions collide with fierce competition, million-dollar stakes, and cameras capturing every move? You get some of the most explosive controversies in sports history. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the dark side of women's golf. The scandals, the tears, the rules that destroyed careers, and the moments that changed the LPGA forever. These aren't just golfers, they're warriors who pushed boundaries, broke rules, and sparked debates that still rage today. Before we tee off, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon because you do not want to miss what's coming. Trust me, some of these stories will absolutely shock you. Let's get into it. Starting at number 10, we have a controversy that literally got a player disqualified for playing too slow. At the 2023 Evian Championship, Spanish golfer Carlota Ciganda found herself in golf's worst nightmare. Her group fell behind pace, got put on the clock, and on the final hole, boom, she exceeded her time limit. Two-stroke penalty, right? Wrong, because she was sitting right on the cut line. The penalty dropped her below it. But here's where it gets insane. Ciganda appealed the decision, tournament officials denied it, so she signed her scorecard. But since she signed for an incorrect score, disqualification. That's right, she was thrown out of a major championship not just for slow play, but for the bureaucratic nightmare that followed. The LPGA has always struggled with slow play, but this incident showed just how brutal the consequences can be. Critics said the rules were too harsh. Supporters said rules are rules. But one thing's for sure, Ciganda's name will forever be linked to one of golf's most controversial penalties. Number 9 isn't about one player, it's about the LPGA itself shooting itself in the foot. Picture this, middle of the 2017 season, the LPGA decides it's time to tell professional athletes, grown women, how to dress. They introduced a dress code that focused on, wait for it, plunging necklines, skirt lengths, and even leggings. The email sent to players literally said skirts must be long enough so you can't see your bottom area when bent over, even if you're wearing shorts underneath. And if you violated this fashion police rulebook, $1,000 fines. But it gets worse. The dress code extended to pro-am parties. Dressy jeans allowed, but no cutoffs or jeans with holes. Because apparently these elite athletes needed to be told how to dress like adults. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Players were insulted, fans were outraged, and the LPGA. They looked completely out of touch, focusing on hemlines instead of prize money, which, by the way, was millions less than what the men were making. This wasn't just controversial, it was embarrassing, and it showed the double standard that still exists in women's golf today. At number 8, we have one of the most heartbreaking stories in LPGA history, a cautionary tale about pressure, expectations, and what happens when the world demands perfection from a teenager. Michelle Wie West was supposed to be the next Tiger Woods. At age 10, she qualified for USGA Championship. At 14, she nearly made the cut at the Sony Open against men. The hype was astronomical. The endorsement deals? $20 million before she could legally vote. But here's where things went sideways. Instead of dominating the LPGA, Wie tried competing against men and struggled. She played in 8 PGA Tour events, missed the cut 7 times. Critics said she was wasting her talent. Peers quietly questioned why she got sponsor exemptions when they fought for every opportunity. Then came the Rule 88 controversy at the 2007 Gin Tribute. Wie withdrew mid-round with injury, but she was 14 over par through 16 holes. Under LPGA rules, if she shot 88 or higher, she'd be banned from LPGA events for the rest of the year. Coincidence? People had questions. Add the State Farm Classic disqualification for a scorecard technicality, the injuries that plagued her career. Michelle Wie became the poster child for unfulfilled potential. She did win 5 LPGA tournaments, including the 2014 U.S. Women's Open, but compared to the expectations, many called her career a disappointment, and that label, fairly or unfairly, followed her until retirement in 2023. Was it her fault, or did the golf world destroy a young girl's dreams by demanding she be superhuman? You decide. Number 7 takes us back to 1972, the year one woman fought the entire LPGA Tour. And won. Jane Blalock was crushing it. 27 LPGA victories, leading money winner, the Golden Girl of Golf. Then came the Bluegrass Invitational. Accusations exploded. Blaylock was marking her ball incorrectly, moving it away from spike marks, cheating on the greens. 27 players, her peers, signed a petition demanding severe punishment. The LPGA suspended her for 1 year and froze $50,000 in prize money. But Blaylock fought back. $5 million antitrust lawsuit, federal court, and here's the bombshell. She never admitted guilt. Her lawyers argued this was a conspiracy by jealous competitors trying to eliminate their toughest rival. The case dragged on for 3 years. And guess what? Blaylock won. The court ruled the LPGA violated antitrust laws. They were ordered to pay her damages plus $100,000 in legal fees. In her memoir, Blaylock named Louise Suggs, a golf legend, as the mastermind behind her suspension. She traced it back to a dress code argument at a country club where Blaylock wore shorts. The pettiness. Despite the stigma, Blaylock continued playing and still holds the record for most consecutive cuts made, 299. She never won a major, but she proved something more important. You can fight the establishment and win. Number 6 is the controversy that changed golf rules forever. And it happened in the cruelest way possible. 2017 ANA Inspiration, final round. Lexi Thompson leading by 2 strokes with 6 holes to play. She's about to win her second major championship, and then a rules official approaches her on the 13th tee. A TV viewer, someone sitting at home on their couch, emailed the LPGA to report that Thompson incorrectly marked her ball yesterday by maybe an inch on Saturday's round. 4-stroke penalty, 2 for the incorrect placement, 2 more for signing an incorrect scorecard. Her 2-stroke lead became a 2-stroke deficit. Instantly, Thompson, in tears, asked, "Is this a joke?" But she fought back, birdied the 13th immediately, clawed her way back into a playoff, and lost by 1 stroke to So-Yeon Ryu. The reaction was nuclear. Tiger Woods tweeted, "Viewers at home should not be officials wearing stripes." Gary Player called it disgusting. Even the USGA knew they screwed up. Within weeks, they introduced what the media nicknamed the Lexi Thompson rule, limiting video evidence to violations visible to the naked eye and preventing retroactive penalties for honest measurement mistakes. Thompson handled it with incredible grace, but she admitted later, "I locked myself in my room. I cried the whole night. My dream was ripped from my hands." She was called a cheater and a choker for something she didn't even realize she did. This wasn't just controversy, it was injustice broadcast live to the world. At number 5, we have perhaps the most unsportsmanlike moment in Solheim Cup history, so bad it made both players cry. 2015 Solheim Cup in Germany. Saturday 4 balls spilling into Sunday morning. Suzanne Pedersen and Charlie Hull versus Americans Brittany Lincecum and rookie Allison Lee. Match tied, 17th hole. Lee didn't concede that putt. Penalty. Europeans win the hole. Lee is in tears. Hull is in tears, even though she's on the winning side. The Americans are furious. Even European legend Laura Davies called Pedersen's actions a disgrace and said she was disgusted. U.S. Captain Julie Inkster, "I've never seen anything like it. It's disrespectful. You don't do that to your peers." European captain Karen Koch tried to fix it, but couldn't. Once a putt isn't conceded, you can't retroactively concede it. The rules didn't allow it. Here's the kicker. Pedersen initially showed zero remorse. She defended it as competitive match play. But after Phil Mickelson, Annika Sorenstam, and Michelle Wie all called her out, she issued an apology saying she was gutted and truly sad. But the damage was done. The controversy motivated Team USA to mount an incredible comeback from 10-6 down to win the cup. And 9 years later, when Lee made the 2024 team, she admitted she hasn't spoken to Pedersen, now Europe's captain, since that day. Some say Lee should have waited for the concession. Others say Pedersen violated golf's unwritten code of sportsmanship. But everyone agrees, this was ugly. Number 4 isn't a player, it's the woman who nearly destroyed the LPGA from the inside, Commissioner Carolyn Bivens. When Bivens took over in 2005, the LPGA was thriving. Annika Sorenstam was a superstar. Sari Pak revolutionized the game. Rising American stars like Paula Creamer, Morgan Pressel, and Natalie Gulbis brought fresh energy. Michelle Wie was a ratings magnet, but Bivens had other priorities. First disaster, 2006. She tried claiming rights to all photos and media from LPGA tournaments. The Associated Press and major outlets walked out of the Fields Open, a brand new tournament featuring a thrilling Wie versus Pressel showdown. Nobody covered it. The event is now dead. Then came 2008, the English proficiency requirement. Bivens announced that players must be able to speak English or face suspension. The backlash was so severe, she had to rescind it within days. But the damage to the LPGA's international reputation was done. Tournament sponsors fled. Purses shrunk. The tour went from 34 events in 2008 to just 24 in 2010. Prize money dropped by $6 million. And through it all, Bivens focused on dress codes and language barriers instead of growing the game. Critics said she had the best marketing assets in women's golf: talented, diverse, classy players with incredible stories, and all she had to do was get out of their way. Instead, she created crisis after crisis until the LPGA finally moved on. The question remains, how much bigger could the LPGA be today if Bivens hadn't stalled its momentum during its golden age? Coming in at number 3, we have one of golf's most politically charged controversies, one that's still dividing the sport today. In 2010, after golfer Lana Lawless sued, the LPGA changed its rules to allow transgender competitors. For over a decade, the policy stood without major incident. Then came 2013. Trans woman Bobby Lancaster attempted to play in Arizona's Cactus Tour, hoping to eventually qualify for the LPGA. The response? She faced what reports called local scorn, hostility from competitors and fans who questioned whether trans women should compete in women's sports. Fast forward to December 2024. The LPGA published a new policy requiring players to either be assigned female at birth or have transitioned before male puberty. The policy took effect in 2025. Supporters argue it protects competitive fairness. Critics say it excludes talented athletes and sends a message that trans women aren't welcome. This isn't just about golf. It's part of a massive cultural battle happening across all sports: swimming, track and field, cycling. Everyone's wrestling with the same questions about inclusion versus competitive advantage. The LPGA's policy puts them in the middle of a firestorm with no easy answers. And as the debate rages on, one thing's certain: this controversy is far from over. At number 2, we have a controversy where nothing was proven, but everything looked suspicious. Thailand 2019. Amy Olsen playing with Arya Jutanugarn. Olsen has a chip shot to the green where Jutanugarn's ball is sitting. Normal protocol: mark your ball so your opponent has a clear shot. But Olsen doesn't ask for a mark. Jutanugarn's ball stays put. Olsen chips, and her ball hits Jutanugarn's ball and stops. Without that ball there, Olsen's chip likely rolls well past the hole. Social media exploded. Backstopping: using another player's ball as a backstop to benefit your own shot. The video showed the players fist-bumping afterward, which made it look even worse. LPGA rules officials investigated and found no wrongdoing. They determined there was no agreement to leave the ball there. They said a rules official was watching the whole thing and saw nothing wrong, but fans weren't buying it. The optics were terrible. Whether intentional or not, Olsen gained a clear advantage. And in professional golf, where integrity is everything, even the appearance of collusion can destroy reputations. Was it innocent? Probably. But in the court of public opinion, Amy Olsen and Arya Jutanugarn were found guilty of the golf world's most suspicious fist bump. And finally, at number 1, we have a controversy that perfectly encapsulates everything wrong with how women's golf is still treated in 2023. Lake Nona, Florida. The LPGA's Tournament of Champions, the tour's most prestigious event. And the world's best female golfers showed up to find no locker rooms. A storm had damaged the permanent women's lockers. Fine, stuff happens. But here's the problem. Instead of providing proper temporary facilities, the LPGA set up some lockers on the second level of the clubhouse, in an area also being used by sponsor VIPs and tournament staff. No privacy, no security, no bathrooms in that area. Female celebrities and LPGA players, women who've dedicated their lives to golf, were treated like second-class citizens at their own championship. The story went public. Players spoke up. And only then did the LPGA scramble to bring in 36 additional lockers. But the damage was done. Can you imagine this happening at a PGA Tour event? The players would revolt. Sponsors would threaten to pull out. But for the LPGA, it was just another day of being disrespected. This wasn't ancient history, this was last year. And it proves that despite all the progress, despite players like Nelly Korda becoming global superstars, women's golf still fights for basic respect. Pay equity? Still a dream. Equal facilities? Apparently negotiable. Media coverage? Fraction of what the men get. The locker room scandal was a symptom of a bigger disease, and it's the #1 controversy because it shows the LPGA's biggest opponent isn't other players, it's the system itself. And there you have it, the top 10 most impactful and polarizing figures in LPGA history. From courtroom battles to TV viewer tattletales, from unsportsmanlike conduct to systemic discrimination, these controversies shaped women's golf into what it is today. These women weren't just controversial, they were pioneers who fought against impossible odds, broke barriers, and demanded better for themselves and future generations. What do you think? Was Lexi Thompson robbed? Did Jane Blaylock deserve her suspension? Should TV viewers be allowed to call in penalties? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you made it this far, you're a true golf fan. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more incredible golf content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, keep your head down, your swing smooth, and remember, in golf, as in life, controversy makes legends.